Well,
girlfriend.
I'll tell you another guy that's got the ladies forming all over him. He's really got it going on out at Lakeside Speedway this year, and that is Tim Karrick, who joins us here this morning. Congratulations on that dominating victory last night, Tim.
It wasn't in the car, didn't feel dominating, so I just assumed that fuel was on my butt. So, and then I was probably driving the traffic a little too aggressive there, so. But you just don't know, you know. So, but that's the way it goes, though. Sometimes you get one like that, and sometimes you chase down a guy that's leading like that. So.
Well, traffic turned into a big issue last night because there weren't many yellow flags here. So how difficult was it to get around there?
Oh, it wasn't as bad as it could have been. My car was pretty decent, so I actually ran the middle like Joe Walker was trying to do early on, and my car wasn't half bad there. That's what we've been trying to get it to do. I mean, if we don't get if we don't get to run the middle like Joe's been trying to do, then when them USMTS guys are going to come in, they're going to eat me alive. So we're working on it. We've been trying some stuff down on Saturday night at Harlan Park. So everything we learned down there, we're trying to just put it in the Lakeside car. That's the beauty about having the two cars. So, I mean, you could have two totally different setups, but it's getting to where and the boys from USMTS, they ain't changing much, so they're good either way. So we just got to get there. So, but it was I've noticed this year at Lakeside, I mean, we've been running like maybe one yellow flag this year, so it's been pretty good, you know. So
Tim, do you think that's because the group of modified drivers that run in the A mods now have been racing together? You know, not a lot of new guys come in every year. It's kind of the same core guys. You think that they don't have as many yellows because everybody kind of knows how everybody races and they know how to race each other? Because you kind of see that on touring series sometimes, you know. People know the limits a little bit more, or they know how a guy is going to react when they roll up on him. You think that has anything to do with it?
You know, I kind of attribute, I mean, maybe a kick of that, Scott, but I think it's because of the way the track is now. I mean, it's not as racy. I mean, I ain't saying it's racy, but it's not as wet.
Locked down fast, right?
Yeah, you know, and when things happen on that, just you go in there and you're going side by side, and the guy will tend to push or something, and you'll end up getting into him or something, you know, a little bit. But the track's been real consistent this year. So other than the rainy nights, and what sucks is kind of after the rain nights, I've kind of sucked. Traditionally, I'm usually pretty good on them. So we just we ain't. I mean, we don't have. We need to free my car up a little bit when it gets wet like that, and just not making enough moves to do it. So, but I think maybe the slickness. Everybody's kind of like on edge more, and we just don't go in the corners hard, you know. So I'm not sure. Mm-hmm. You're probably right. You know, the same group of guys too. You know, so it's needless to say. I mean, chased Booty down. We had one yellow flag that night. Chased Cody down, one yellow flagger that night. You know, I mean, they get out, and you know, you just when you start in the back like Kerry and them guys did last night, and you just. If you get one yellow flag, it's tough. I think the USMTS guys have been seeing a lot of that this year too. One yellow flag type deal, you know. So, but they still have their problems just like we do. So that's the way it goes. Some nights full moon's out, and some nights not.
Yeah, Tim. You know, there's been some fodder on our forum board wondering how many people that run weekly out at Lakeside are going to show up for the USMTS race. No, you're going to be there, obviously. Do you think that bringing in the USMTS guys discourages some of the guys, or do you think the majority of them will show up if you had to figure what you thought might happen there?
Well, I think you'll get the same guys. I mean, the same. Maybe there might be top 10 cars going out there running against them, you know. But I think, I mean, to be the best, you got to race the best, and that's what them guys are, you know. And then there's some thoughts other than, you know, I mean, them guys aren't lacking. I mean, you know, I'll try to run some tires a couple weeks in a row, them boys there, they ain't putting on last week's tires to run
new rubber. Right.
Yes, exactly. You know, it's kind of like the asphalt day, Scott. Them guys know what it takes to win, and they're going to make sure they got everything on the car to make it go. You know, so. But I mean, guys want to go out there and try something different. They might go out there and test a little something.
And that USMTS.
Well, they pay enough to afford people to do that. That's the key to being able to afford the tires.
You can say that, but I've been watching Shryock and Zach and then them guys that are going to run that and have bad nights. They're going to run there like Humboldt. What was the other track? Humboldt and Valley last week. Them guys that didn't do anything, they made $800. $800 to travel from freaking Iowa to come all the way down here. You know, I mean, if you don't finish in the top 5, I totally disagree with their payoff structure right now.
I see.
I mean, it's like 4,000 and 2,000, or 4,000 and
too top heavy.
Yeah,
too top heavy is what you're saying.
Yeah, I mean, and they need to support the guys that are supporting them. And I actually talked to Todd about that, but he says, "Oh, we voted on it." Or Kelly, I talked to about it. You know, he said, they all voted on it. I'm like, it's crazy, dude. You put it on the top, and you know, if you have a couple bad weeks, hell, you think, well, I don't know if I could travel down there this week to do that, you know, and spreading them out.
Do they pay tow money? Do they pay tow money, Tim?
Well, it's basically, I see a lot of them guys on their deal, it's like $100, so $200, you know, but if you make the feature, I mean, obviously they're giving more provisionals this year, but like $300 or $400, I mean, it's still, I mean, tear some stuff up and drive all the way down Texas or Kansas or whatever when they're from Iowa. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I guess you got to have money to do that deal anyway. I just look at it, just going to the track to try to make a little money to help pay for everything, you know? So that's why I haven't been, I mean, if I get my stuff better on the short tracks and stuff, I'll try to race against them, but I can't see, you know, spending a $100 entry fee and then going running them against some guys not even knowing, like, if I'm going to make the show or not. I mean, like last night, if I would have tried some of the stuff I'd tried in the heat race and high laps, I wouldn't even probably made the show last night because my car was too tight in the high laps, too free in heat race, and well, we better go back to what we know, boys. So, you know, so I mean, it just, I don't know. It's tough. I mean, it's not like it was, I think, 5-6 years ago, where you could run against them guys when they come to your track every week. You know, that they're racing so much, and they got so much knowledge and so much help behind them that you better be on your A game. You know, right in the hot laps on. You know, so.
Makes a difference, no doubt about that. The USMTS going to be at Lakeside on Friday night, July the 13th, so we'll look forward to that. Of course, as Tim mentioned, they were at Humboldt and Valley Speedway. Tim, you started off the season racing Saturday nights at Valley Speedway. Now you switched back over to Heartland Park, Topeka. Why?
I struggled down at Valley, and I kind of I just was trying too many different things, and I needed to get to back to base stuff, and Heartland Park's a little closer. Cody and I run up there so that Cody and I can bounce stuff off each other's head. Down there, just I run against Dennis Elliott up at the Valley down there, and we had a good time down there. But I just change of atmosphere. I'd like to go back down there and be able to beat them boys, and we're working on that. So it's kind of like right now, Heartland Park's good. I mean, we've been getting home at 11 o'clock at night instead of trying to beat the curfew. That's always good, too, you know. So, especially in this heat stuff, you know, it's always nice, too. So, even after last night, I started cramping up a little bit. So, just getting used to the weather and Valley.
Us old dudes have to take it a little easier in this heat. You know that, right, Chad?
you had the sweat really running off of you when you crawled out of the car last night, Tim.
I do. I sweat. Even at work, you know, guys will run like they're thinking there's water dripping on them, and it's not coming out of my hard hat at work. So I'm like, sorry, guys, I've already sweated a lot. So I don't know that you can drink enough water in this stuff. So But
yeah. Hey, Timmy.
Yes, sir.
How about Cletus winning last week of snow?
Oh,
man,
dude.
Isn't that cool?
Yes, it is. We got to go see him down at the Blake Shelton concert at his new community building last Tuesday night.
Right.
Good time. I mean, actually, you know what I noticed? I mean, even like I haven't got to watch any of his practice for the Kentucky race, but he anytime he qualifies in the top 6, that's where he needs to qualify to really be good in the race, because he comes out with his stuff good, and
he starts 6th tonight.
I know. I've seen that on the way home last night. Me and Jerry's taking a look at that, and he just always runs good. I mean, you can remember when he ran that Kansas race against Biffle, and he got shortened out there because of the darkness. You know, the rain. He was running. He should have won that race, and he always runs good in them races if things don't happen. You know.
Hey, when the track is rough like Kentucky and it's going to be slick and it's going to be hot, that really feeds
plays right into his hand.
It does,
right?
doesn't it?
Yeah. That's what I'm thinking. I think he's like the old Lakeside. So I'm hoping he has a couple good runs now. You know, if he knock off a couple, I mean, you've been around Clint, Scott, and Kirk. You guys know when he gets his momentum going, them guys are going to be in trouble.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, just getting that first win out of the way on the road course. You know, just like Kurt Busch said last week, he said, this guy's running late miles, that dirt track late miles back in Kansas. He ain't going to be able to hold this whole thing off. You know, running the road course. So
he didn't say, or maybe he didn't even know how well Clint Boyer handles pressure well, and he's always been that way.
He can handle it. I mean, he's in where he's at now because of that. He can handle pressure. I mean, you know, he holds it in better than anybody, and he just, you know, that time you guys were going down there to run Charlotte, Scott, with the ARCA car. He told me before that Jayhawk, he said, man, I need this $5,000. And I'm thinking, dude, we ain't running that good. And he went up, and everybody else was running under the bottom of the cushion. He went up and ran the cushion and just proceeded to whoop our butts at the Jayhawk and won that $5,000, dude. That's how he got his money to buy tires for that Charlotte race, dude. But he does that. I mean, and he can just do it better than anybody else. I mean, obviously in this area. So he just, you know, and going from RCR to MWR, it's just one of them deals where I just hope he can complete this year with a good chase run, you know, and making the chase. So, but you never know until you get there. So, but it's awesome to watch. I mean, if he's running bad, you know, it's kind of like if the Chiefs or Royals are doing bad, I turn the TV off. But if he's running good, I mean, I can't even get what I need to get done on Sundays.
Yeah, you know what I always found out, Tim, though, when Clint Boyer's running good, you always seem to run well, and you win big races. I've noticed that.
There is some correlation to that.
It's trickle-down effect, right? So
yeah, I don't know what the deal is. The energy.
I know. I got to see your nephews this weekend. Oh, my God, Kirk. I can't believe you guys even come from the same bloodline. Until they start imitating your radio voice.
Yeah, there you go.
and then I just started laughing so hard about Puma pants. So.
Who, Dennis? You talking about Dennis or Brad?
And Brad.
Oh, Brad does the
imitation.
Yeah,
they've got him down pretty good because, see, a lot of us can imitate Kirk Elliott, but we just don't have the face. You see, they look just enough like him to where when they put the voice to it, it's crazy.
It is, dude. I think about when Brad says, "Hi, I'm Kirk Elliott with the winningest Lakeside."
Well, I'm Kirk Elliott. Hey, welcome to the show, there, Tim. Welcome.
That's exactly it, too. So I'm sorry, Kirk.
It's been fun watching Dennis race in that brand new car this year.
Oh, he's been good.
Let's change the subject, he said.
Way to change the subject, buddy.
Yeah, diversion move right there.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
That was good. Hey, I want to say one thing. I want to say something about Clint, though, and I think that there's a good feeling over there at Michael Waltrip Racing right now. And, you know, I know Martin Truex has been there before Clint Boyer and Mark Martin's over there, and he's a seasoned veteran. But I got to feel that Clint Boyer feels like that's his team. You know, he's the first driver outside of Rudeman to win a race. Rudeman's not there now. He won one quicker than anybody else. He's showing results better than anybody right now over at Michael Waltrip Racing. Don't you got to feel a little bit like, like Carl Edwards? He has to feel like Roush Yates. I mean, the Fenway deal, that's his team. You look at RCR, Clint was always in the shadow of Harvick a little bit. Don't you think it kind of feels like that's his team over there now?
I totally agree. You just at RCR, he was always Harvick. And I think I totally agree with you. I think they all get along over at MWR way better than they do at the RCR deal stables. And I attribute when you get a team like that. Look at the Hendricks teams, Scott. They share their information, and they all run good. At RCR, it's like if Harvick was all about Harvick. And I'm not saying that's bad, but most racers got egos, and if when one car was running good, if Harvick was running good, you didn't see the other cars doing that, So I totally.
Well, and we've seen Harvick kind of lay out Clint sometimes when they were drafting together. He just kind of let him hang out at times. And it's like, really, are you his teammate or what?
Oh, dude, I'd get so mad at that. I was like, I'm thinking I'd shake my head at that son of a gun, So, but I totally agree with that. I think the way Truex and Clint are going together. I agree. I know it's just the deal with Michael Waltrip Racing is he wants to be in the chase so bad. That's what they're going after, So I totally agree with you, Scott. Though I think like, hey man, they get it going, and I just see. And I can just see. I know. He's won a nationwide championship. He didn't run the trucks, so he's going to win him a championship. It's just a matter of getting everything together. It's right, So, I totally agree with you.
Hey, Tim, you know Clint pretty well. I wasn't going to ask him this because I didn't know what kind of answer, but you know Clint pretty well. Through all of this celebration of winning last week at Sonoma, how much do you think plays on Clint's mind the fact that, hey, we got a win over here at Michael Waltrip Racing before RCR gets a win in 2012?
I guarantee you, he's just slicking his chops right after that, And then,
no doubt.
And ended up, I think he's 2 points behind Harvick, and I guarantee you, it's Harvick's fuming.
Yeah.
In the back of his mind, So, and I know they made room for the grandkids over there, and Cat didn't want nobody else but Burton, and so Clint was odd man out.
Sure.
So, they're still doing that 33 car, but every time it pulls off or gets in the way or something like that, I kind of chuckle, because reality is, Clint, and I know Clint. He wanted to stay at RCR. And it ate him up, to when he figured out he wasn't wanted over there, So, and that sucks. Hell, it's no different than anybody that works every day and their work tells them they don't need them no more, That's basically
you want to be appreciated, right?
Yeah.
And it's wrong to think that Michael Waltrip Racing was any kind of a fallback. I don't think a lot of people talk about the resources that they have over. They have more money to work with, and it's not just about Michael Waltrip. There's other people at play. They have the money to have great championship level teams over there.
Oh yeah, they do, and that's all they're looking for. They want to win. They know all about it, So I was kind of hesitant at the first couple of Daytona race. Everybody else had power except for Clint. I was kind of bumming out. I'm like, what the hell's going on here? I was like, Clint's car's overheating, these guys ain't. So, right. But they do. It's kind of like that. Remember the Gillette Abraham deal? That whoever the guy is,
right.
He's with them. So that's definitely not lacking in that department. So I think if he can get to work with Brian Patty, but like some of the other guys do, like Letard and Junior now, I think I expect big things. But that's just me thinking it,
Well, I know two things that really had to bother Clint. Obviously, knowing that he wasn't wanted over there again, I think that really stung a little bit. But Also, leaving Chevrolet, we know, hey, he's a company guy. He's going to do the company lines. He's representing Toyota as he should. But let's face it, we all know that Clint Boyer's a Chevy guy deep down, kind of like Tony Stewart was.
Yeah.
And how that bothered him. And he had great relationships with Brian Schaefer, who is now out at McCarthy Chevrolet. That was tough for him to stomach, too, but, he had to look out what's best for his career, and he had to make that move. But I know that had to bother him a little bit, too. He wouldn't say that publicly, but I know it did.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't, I agree with you on that, too, wholeheartedly, Scott. I mean, he is a Chevy man. No, I mean, it's like the union side of America, the Chevy guys, Toyota, them union guys. As soon as you swap to, like, a different brand like that other than USA, them guys, a guy at my church, dude, he goes, I like Boyer, dude, but he's driving a Toyota now. I'm like, oh, I understand. That's just one thing you don't. It's kind of like politics. You just don't get in an argument with people about that stuff because that's.
Well, you have to respect their feelings when they feel
right.
That way.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, that's what America's about too. So I mean, unfortunately, they're building things for GM cars in different countries too. I mean, you get some parts and it says different names on it. So it's just.
I know. It's just like I always tell people, Tim, the deposit's made in the different country. That's what I always tell. They can build all they want here, but they're making the deposit in Japan.
Yeah,
that's all I can tell you about it.
Yeah, a lot of people haven't forgiven Mark Martin for leaving Ford over there either. So I mean, it goes around. And then why are we talking about Clint Boyer so much today? Because the national news media has talked more about Kurt Busch in the aftermath of Clint's win than Clint Boyer. That's why we're talking about it.
And then I know. I told Casey, I said, "What the hell's up with this?" I said, "Hell, the first headlines is not even." And Casey said, "Well, he says because Clint's out celebrating, and they're talking to them other two guys why they're doing why Clint's drinking champagne, So it's kind of I totally agree with you. Just I mean, no matter what you do, it's the top five. Clint could be fourth, run top 2 or 3 all day long. And then they'll go talk to 6 other guys other than Clint. When I asked Casey, what's it going to take to be one of them guys they talk to? Win. All you got to do is win. Yeah. Just win more races. And I said, well, it makes sense.
Winning takes care of everything, that's for sure. Hey, Tim, before we let you go, I want to ask you, and I hope I'm not putting you on the spot, and I probably know your answer, but Osborne on Tuesday night, we're going to be running A-Mods with the ASCS National Tour. Any chance you coming up there racing with us?
Well, I just, I wasn't planning on racing at all, and Rob Kirk called me. He says, Humboldt's got a big race down there, 2,000 win this Tuesday, too. It depends. I'm just kind of just pick I don't know, I might just stay home and just relax, too, you know what I mean? So I doubt it. I don't think so. But I see you've been going a lot in the ACS stuff, too, dude. So it's, I haven't seen you around. I've seen the RacinBoys is old Kirk Elliott now lately, so Todd Sprocket's out there. So I started wondering.
I know it. They're doing a good job taking care of it, but somebody's got to go out and pay the bills.
I hear you screaming now. You're acting like that's you.
Well.
Somebody's got to go out here and make the money to pay the bills.
Well, I wasn't going to say nothing, but that's what Kirk said when he was coming out to Lakeside all the time and down the valley and stuff.
He also does a good job of spending the money. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. No, sorry, guys. I had to entertain these 5 people. Well, Scott, there was only like you and 4 of the girls. What's going on there? What the,
What are you talking about?
I'm just saying.
Oh, man. I think on that note, we probably ought to wrap up this segment before it gets out of control.
Stay cool at Heartland Park tonight. Good luck to you out there. Congratulations on the win last night.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. Nice talking to you guys again.
All right. There he is.
All right, Timmy.
Tim Karrick, who won again last night at Lakeside Speedway.
Love that guy, man. Yep. Absolutely love that guy. I've known him since I was in my 20s and raced against him since back in the mid-'80s. And there's no way that you cannot like Tim Karrick, really. I mean, the guy is a hoot. He's one of the all-time winningest drivers. I don't know if he knows how many races he's won. I know he's won at least 15 championships. And he's been a fierce competitor both on the dirt over the early years of his career. The middle part of his career was on asphalt. He was a winner there. It's probably a shame that a guy like Tim Karrick didn't get a chance to go down there and run down south, because my gut tells me that Tim Karrick, if we would have had the right opportunity to get into heavy stock cars and race at that level on the speedways, would have been very successful as a driver and as a personality, because he has that same kind of personality trait that Clint Boyer has. Guy that likes to yuck it up, have a good time, kind of speaks what's on his mind, but at the same time has the skill set to get it done behind the wheel. We've seen him do it again on pavement, on dirt. He's one of the guys that on a regional level that you would have liked to see get a chance to make it in the big league stock car racing, because I think he could have made it as well.
That's why he and Boyer are such good friends. They got like personalities in a lot of different ways.